Hey, welcome to the Parenting Tools podcast with me, Jason.
And me, Jordan, where two parenting tools talk about the relentless beauty and the hilarious chaos of being parents.
Amazing. If you want to get in touch with us, please do. We want to hear your stories, want to hear your struggles, #daddy issues. You can find us on Instagram or TikTok at parentingtoolspod or on Gmail. It's just email. It's just called email,
it's just
isn't
email,
it?
yeah.
At parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
Spot on. We just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who tuned in to episode 1 and to everybody who sent us kind comments and encouragement and funny stories as well. We've really enjoyed. We've really enjoyed the stories. So thank you. Thank you to everyone. Episode 2.
Let's go.
So we're going to start off with some stories that we got sent in that we found quite funny, that we enjoyed listening to. So first and foremost, Bluey.
Oh, I went down a treat.
A lot of love for Bluey.
I think a lot of parents that I've spoken to this week, the first thing they've said is Bluey.
Yeah?
Yeah, honestly.
All the dads.
All the dads, all the mums.
Yeah?
Loving Bluey. Amount of people that
Superb.
I've spoken to that just find themselves watching it when their kid is like falling asleep. It's amazing.
But we did have a message from Luke whilst driving to Wales that said we overlooked Encanto.
I've never seen Encanto.
You've not seen Encanto?
No. It's Pixar, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a musical Pixar. I mean, they're all
pretty musical.
apart from like Toy Story, they're not that musical.
No, that's true.
But yeah, no, I've not seen it. Is it good?
Oh, it is good. It's
I
a
mean-
bit like Magic-y. And I know that some more conservative parents might be a bit like, oh, the magic. But it is good. And the soundtrack, the songs are banging.
The only thing I know about it is that there's like a weird like uncle or something that lives in the walls.
Bruno. Yeah,
Oh.
we don't talk about Bruno.
Okay, that's where that's from.
That's where that's from.
God.
So we'll take that one off for you, Luke. And I had a very funny story coming from a friend of mine who I went to school with who listened to the pod. His name's Ryan. And he's got an 18-month-old called Emily. And he said, Jordan, I hear you with the leg hair.
Really? We've got another one.
Yep. I knew it couldn't have just been me. He said, I hear you with the leg hair. But one thing that my daughter Emily has started doing is after bath time, she now wears nappy pants. So she stands up and she uses my neck to balance when she's putting her nappy on. So she's kind of holding his shoulders.
Yeah, I
legs in.
see.
But she doesn't hold my neck. She grips it so tightly that it bruises. And he says, it looks like I've had a passionate night with my missus. But it's really not. So next time you see me, if it looks like I've got cheeky love bites, they're not.
That is brilliant.
Poor Ryan.
I mean, that's a brilliant story, Ryan. Although, it's not leg hair,
No.
I have to say.
But he's on my side.
Yeah. Here, it's a pinching related story. I can get on board with that.
You've got to be careful, haven't you? When like someone goes, oh, mate, who gave you those bruises? And you go, oh, my daughter. Yes. You have to explain that one. But what about you? Have you got any?
I've actually got some highlights from the week, actually.
Yeah?
So on Saturday, it was Noah's second birthday.
It was indeed.
It was really cute. I've got to be honest, it was really cute. However, the lead up to children's parties, oh my word.
A lot of admin.
I don't think I've been that stressed since like school exams.
Really?
Like the amount of things that we had to like get done to ensure that the party would go. Party bags for 2-year-olds.
See, I didn't
They
even
have
think
no
of that.
idea what's going on.
No,
Why do they need a party bag?
it's true.
But we did a bubble themed party. It's only so far you can go with bubbles.
It's great. My kids loved it.
Oh, it was really cute just seeing kids like dance around.
Yeah.
And kids that age don't need much to keep them entertained. That's the best bit.
That is true.
But the carnage before and afterwards makes me really question, was it worth it? Was my child's happiness and enjoyment?
Well, she'll have lots of memories from it,
I mean, the answer, of course it's worth it.
but she won't have any memories from it.
So, she's not going to remember.
Not at
She's
all.
2 years old.
Not at all.
But I don't know if you've got the same experience, but Noah does this thing where she wants to do something and then she'll immediately want to watch it back on your phone. So if you've taken a photo or a video, she will know, and she'll go, watch Noah.
Okay.
And so it's like she immediately knows that we are taking videos of these moments. And in the mornings, it's great because she'll just be happy watching videos of herself play from the day before. But I find that's a bit strange. Have you encountered that?
No.
Really?
No. Send them to long term. There you go. There's another Pixar reference. Inside Out. But also, my wife, everyone says, like, Leanne should be a party planner. I
agree.
She thrives.
Yeah.
That is her lane. So when it comes to parties so far, I've just been so hands off. It's just been like she just tells me what to do and she sorts everything. She's so good.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be so far removed from the process that it just happens.
Yeah.
But
speaking of parties,
tell us about your triple.
So, one, yours, great, loved it, bubbles,
props,
absolute smash. Go down to the second one, and I said that my sister or brother-in-law was going to be there.
Yes. Oh, that's the one that you didn't know anyone at.
Yes.
Okay.
So my nephew had the bug. He had the sickness bug.
No way.
So he had the Derek and Rodney's. He did. So they weren't there. So we're thinking, okay, like, how's this going to go? And then we got to the party, and I said, like, do you know what they look like? Like, who are the family we're saying hello to?
No.
So we walked in, and we're just trying to identify the family, and we didn't know who it was. So we just kind of stood there. Anyway, walking, I turned to my left, and there's a dad there that I went to school with. So I was like, jackpot.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Shout out, Tom. So I just sat with Tom and had a great time, and Leanne chased Luke around the party. But somebody, if you listen to episode 1, you'll know what we mean by this. Someone did an Emily. Someone told Luca off. So, and do you know what? It's actually quite nice.
So let's just, before we get to the rundown, I have to clarify.
Go on.
I did have a word. I got told off.
You have some feedback.
Some constructive criticism
From Em.
From Em. She wants to have the record straight.
Okay.
In her words, she doesn't tell off other people's children. She just makes sure that if they steal something from Noah, she gets it back.
That's fair.
I think that sounds worse. She's now setting herself up to be some sort of...
You steal from Noah, I will steal from you.
So that's like some children's mafia sort of ring.
Yeah.
It's like protection sort of companies.
Eye for an eye.
Lease out her services.
But either
I'm probably
way...
going to get another word for that. Sorry, continue.
Either way, Emily is wonderful.
Yeah, I have to clarify that.
Yeah, and it's me that's saying that, not you.
So how did this person tell off the child? How did that go? And you're saying it's quite nice.
It was really nice.
Was it nice because it was a break from... like having to discipline?
So, as mentioned, I was sat with Tom.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually see or hear any of this. I was just chatting with a mate. But Leanne came up to me, she told me the story, and from what I can make out, Luca and this little boy had a bit of a push and a shove, as kids do in a ball pit. So the dad sat them both down and said, that's not nice. Don't shove each other. Just say sorry. I've got, no problem with that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair play. But then later on, he came up to Leanne and he said, do you know what? I realised I told Luca off, and I don't actually know you, and I don't know Luca. He says, I just want to apologise if you felt like I overstepped the mark.
Wow.
And I thought, that's so lovely.
What a guy.
Yeah. I thought that was really nice.
That is top quality parenting right there.
Yeah. So I thought, do you know what? Fair play.
Shout out to Mr. Man.
Yeah, Mr. Man. Not a clue what his name was. But we didn't think anything of it. Like, if you're pushing and someone says, stop pushing, say sorry, that's pretty normal, right?
Yeah, that's genuinely quite a good parenting tip there. I would say that's a parenting tool.
I thought that was... Back. So I've actually got a really good parenting tip that I heard this week, but I'll save it for next episode.
Oh, come on.
Because it's not to do with... yeah, take the bait. It's not to do with kids that are my kids' age. It's for older kids.
Okay.
So I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I need to kind of clarify some things.
Need to get some external advice.
Yeah, but I've heard it and it's genius.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
Regarding devices.
Oh, okay. Like phones, iPads.
Yep.
In case you don't know what devices are.
Yeah. So it's regarding devices, and I just want to clear up the logistics of it.
So on this topic, what do you do with your kids at their current ages? So Luca's 2.
Yep.
Turning 3 soon.
Yeah.
And Mila's not even 1 yet.
No.
What do you do with devices? Do you have rules?
He doesn't have devices yet.
Not at all.
So it's very minimal.
What does he do with TV or
okay.
all of that?
So TV, we tend to have it like on in the background.
Okay.
Because he'll kind of lose focus on what he's doing or lose attention on the game that he's playing, go watch the TV for like 2 minutes, come back. So it's on in the background a lot of times. But in terms of like devices and phones and stuff, he plays a game on my phone, a number blocks game, which is quite educational. So I don't mind him playing it odd time. But if he's had like a day where he's been so good, like a few days ago, he was brilliant. And he said, "Daddy, can I play number blocks?" And I was like, "Do you know what? You can, because you've been so good." So he sits and plays number blocks for a few minutes. And then the only time we give him, we've got an iPad.
Yeah.
And we only give him that in the car on long journeys.
Nice.
Because you've got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's it really. So it's quite manageable, but he calls it the PiPad. So, "Daddy, I have the PiPad."
Very northern.
Which is so cute.
That's very cute.
Very northern. Kind of PiPad. So, so it's we've not had to really cross that bridge yet.
So cause we didn't even like let Noah like watch TV for the first year. Like we tried really hard not to have that be a thing. But then as soon as she was 1, like Cocomelon came about.
Yeah.
But it was still only ever at a set time in the morning, and then it was all like cut off for the day. And like that's probably where we are now. She'll watch a little bit while she's eating breakfast.
Yep.
And then a little bit before dinner, but then at 5 o'clock, everything has to go off. So it's minimal, but she absolutely loves music.
Yeah,
music is the thing. But the thing that she likes are really old school nursery rhymes. She doesn't like the new ones. She likes the really old school, like British, like 50s and 60s nursery rhymes.
They've all got really sinister meanings as well, from what I've heard.
Like Ring a Ring of Roses, all of that one. About the Black Plague.
Wow.
I think. Like we all fall down. Literally, yeah.
We're all dead.
But she likes all of those era. And then when it comes to actual music, she just loves 80s pop. Pop and rock. That's it. That's all she likes.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get into Imagine Dragons, because it's on like all the kids' movies.
Is it?
It's on a lot of them, like the credits and stuff. But she loves September, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh.
And Back in Black.
Good on her.
AC/DC.
Wow.
We blamed the granddad for that one.
Yep.
I think it was originally the first thing that she could say, and now she just loves it.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
That's the first word.
The first like song she knew how to ask for.
Can you say Dada? Back in Black.
AC/DC.
She can do the alphabet. No, we've. I think because I mentioned this on the last one, we went into lockdown when Luke was 7 months.
Yeah.
So you could only go outside for your one walk that Boris let us have. So TV got a lot of time in lockdown, and then it's kind of just slowly breaking that habit of cutting screen time on the TV. But yeah, I learnt a bit of sign language off Mr. Tumble.
See, we've not ventured into Mr. Tumble yet. I at the moment I can't stand it.
He's a bit Marmite, isn't he?
I think so.
I think
I used to hate Marmite.
As your taste change? No. Pregnancy hasn't changed your tastes?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah. That's how my mum, shout out to you, Jan, she figured out my sister was pregnant because my sister was like, "I don't like tomatoes, but all of a sudden I'm just eating tomatoes and I love them." My mum said, "Probably pregnant." And she was pregnant.
I didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah.
I knew they had I know you can get cravings and stuff. And like, again, as a spouse, you can get fake cravings, sympathy weight.
Just
that's a thing.
fancy a McDonald's.
I didn't know taste. Is it permanent or does it?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to. If you know the answer, please.
Yeah.
Let us know,
ladies.
I'm really intrigued in this. Do you go in hating Brussels sprouts, but then after you give birth, you just can't get enough of them?
Does it revert? That's a really good question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, someone let us know. Does your taste change? Stay the same?
So I've got a not necessarily a daddy issue. This is one of those things which I think most parents have encountered. Have you heard of the sleep window?
Oh, yeah.
In our house, if you miss the sleep window, it is like the rest of your day is ruined.
Yeah.
And it's very short at the moment. And so if Noah's tired, and we usually put her to bed between 12:30 and 1, if you miss that where she's overtired, she is not sleeping. And that ruins that little bit of safe haven that you get in the day, that little hour to just not think about it, that's gone.
Yeah.
All you can hear is just screaming. However, Noah has got this tactic now, which is both brilliant and a little bit worrying.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
I want to see if I can play what she does.
Need a poo! Need a poo! Need a poop!
She's saying, I need a poop.
Yeah, she fluctuates between saying, I need a poo, and nappy change, poo, poo. She hasn't pooed. She doesn't need a poo. She has just figured out that if she says those words, we come in.
We've been there.
How do you tackle it? Because it's like the beginnings of a sinister child.
Yeah, so Luca did that. He'd go in his room and you'd say, right, stay in your room now. And he'd go, I need a wee. And then you go in, sit him on the toilet, he doesn't do a wee. Or I've done a poo, you've not done one. Yes. The problem is when you're potty training, I don't know where you're at with potty training.
We're just in the middle of it, like trying to start it. She's done a few, but and I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. And so in that, when they're saying I need a wee or a poo when you're potty training, you've got to respond, haven't you?
Yeah. Clever.
Yeah.
But it's like the bane of my life now, because if you miss that sleep window, she goes to all these tactics.
Yeah.
And then, so at one point, she was going, hurt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like proper playing on your heartstrings. And we was like, no, you can't say that if you're not hurting. Where do you hurt? She goes, ear. She'll just pick something.
Wherever.
Sometimes she genuinely means it and she can tell us where she hurts. But it's that pause of, like, you can tell that the clock's going. She's thought this through. She's reeled us in.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do it. And then, like, you go from having an hour and a half break. That's currently like where she naps. An hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours on a good day. If you miss that sleep window, that's it. And then also, she is terrible for the whole afternoon. Just like on edge, just like not happy. What do you do? What do you do?
You pray. You pray and you hope for the best. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. It's just, it happens. It happens, and
that's my daddy issue.
everyone's in the same boat. But do you find that if she misses her nap, then she sleeps not as well in the night?
Yeah, 100%.
How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. Because obviously, if we don't sleep for a lot, next time we go to sleep, right through, like, almost like recoup.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like babies just have this thing of, if they don't get enough sleep, well, it is this. I think I read a book on it. There you go.
I'm getting.
If they don't get enough sleep, they won't be able to sleep well.
It's weird.
And the thing is, Noah's not a good sleeper anyway. Like, so she still wakes up 2 or 3 times a night, and she's 2. And that's because every time we got into a good rhythm, and like we did hold sleep training and all of that sort of stuff, every time we got into a good rhythm, she'd end up in hospital, and it would ruin everything. And she was like underweight for a lot of the time, and so we had to feed her in the night.
Yeah.
And so that became a habit, which now that she's 2 is like really hard to break. So we get like 2 or 3 good sleeps a week. Every other night is she's up 2 or 3 nights.
Gosh.
And it's like the only thing that sends her back to sleep is either like lots of cuddles or milk.
Yeah.
And it's like we've tried everything. We've even bought a sleep training course.
Have you?
Yeah, we've
online.
Yeah, we've gone there.
Wow.
And it worked until then she was back in hospital again, and it was like everything's reset. Yeah, so it's just like she's not going to be like 18 and waking up 4 times a night crying for milk. So just sort of just live with it now.
That first year of uni, all her like flatmates, someone get Noah some milk. that one.
Oh, do you experience that? Like, if they don't sleep well in the day, they don't sleep well at night.
100%. And I just don't get it. I just do not understand it. It makes no sense to me. But that's what I'm finding. The more I learn about my kids, and the more I learn about kids in general, is that they're like a Rubik's Cube that fights back. I think that's in a film. Someone's trying to figure out a puzzle, and it's like, it's a Rubik's Cube that fights back. But that's what they're like. When you think you've got one side, you think you've got the orange side down.
The algorithms.
Yeah.
The timings.
Yeah, it all changes. And like you say, they get ill.
Yeah.
They get a cold, they get whatever, chicken pox. And then they all just unravels. But Marla's always been a very good sleeper when it comes to going down. And this is my daddy issue this week. we are now in the stage where you can't leave the room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you've got to sneak out. And you do the kind of, you can see that she's sleeping, you take the first step, and you kind of check in the eyes, and then you close the door as quietly as you can.
Yeah.
And you've got this door, like, pulling the door, and this hand, pulling the door, and then the other hand is kind of pushing the door.
So it doesn't creak.
Yeah, so you kind of, there's an internal tension going on. This one's pulling, this one's pushing. You're going as quietly as possible. You pull the handle down so the latch doesn't click. You lift it up slowly, and you're out. And as soon as you take your hand off the handle, or you take that first step, you just hear the cry. You just hear the cry, and then you're back in the room. So that's where we are at the minute. Is it like the other night? It took me like an hour and a half to get her to sleep. And in fact, I've got a voice note as well.
Oh, go on.
So this is what's good about doing a podcast, is that things that would have previously wound you up is now just good content. So I was putting the kids to bed on my own. Leanne was out, and I said to Luca, look, I'm just going to go sort Mila out. I'll be back downstairs in a minute. And I put the TV on for him to chill out. So I go upstairs, sort her out, close the door, crying starts. Back in the room, same thing again. So eventually I just thought, right, I'll leave her for 5 minutes and I'll go sit with him because I don't want him to be on his own for too long. So I go downstairs, I'm sat with him, watch 5 minutes of whatever it was. I think it was Super Wings or Number Blocks. And I said, right, Luca, I'm just going to go sort Mila out again. Same thing again. Come back downstairs, and I said, right, Luca, it's bedtime, let's go upstairs. I said, brush your teeth. While he's brushing his teeth, I went and sorted Mila out. Left the room, success. So I get into bed with him and I start reading him a story, and Mila starts crying again. And you can hear her on the background of this. It's not the nicest noise, is it?
No.
And he goes, Mila's crying again, Daddy. I said, yeah. And he went, every time. And then I said, yeah, Daddy, go sort her in a minute. And then he said this.
Mama's bedroom, and I want to stick her in the bin.
Why?
I want to.
If you didn't catch that, did he say...
We'll put the audio in, right? We'll edit it in.
We'll put it in.
Yeah.
He said, I want to go to Mila's bedroom and stick her in the bin.
On a sticker in the bin. So I said, normally I'd be like, Luca, that's so bad, but quickly got the phone, press record, and I said, what did you say? And he said, I want to go into Mila's room, I want to stick her in the bin. And I was just like, and then I said, okay, that's not nice.
After you got it recorded.
After I got it in the bank, yeah. But I said, Luca, that's not nice. We're not going to put Mila in the bin. We love Mila. We look after her. And at the minute, it's kind of like, you're a big brother. You need to look out for her. So yeah, that was Luca's suggestion for how I can solve my daddy issue of leaving the room.
I'm wondering, he's obviously learned that concept.
Yeah, that's what Leanne said. I said to her, you'll never guess what Luca said. She was like, that's horrific. And I was just like, oh yeah, me too. That's what I said. And then I was like, I recorded it first. But yeah, she said, where's he heard that? So I'm guessing it's if something's broken.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, we'll stick it in the bin. Or like even sometimes, I don't know if I've joked with him and I'm like, I'm going to put you in the bin or something. I don't know.
I'd say, is that like a common joke? Sometimes like, I'll get in the bin. That's a joke that some people say.
Yeah, but I've never said it with him. So yeah, I'm just kind of playing in my mind. Where has he got that from? Yeah. But yeah, that was quite funny.
That's funny.
It was one of those that I thought, have I heard that right? So yeah.
Amazing. I've got a more serious daddy issue sent in from one of the listeners, and just massive thank you to everyone who's sent in some of their stories as well. We have got a bank full.
We've got a bank full.
So we're gonna milk them for all they're worth. On a serious, we're gonna give them the time that they need. So this one is from Matt, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing out because it's long. Matt, I'm not laughing at you before this is actually quite real.
Appreciate your effort, Matt.
He said that one of the struggles of being parents, particularly in like today's world, today's kind of how things work, is that their daughter, who is very young, is in nursery a few days a week and with grandparents the other times. And at the moment, they find themselves in a situation where, for those 5 days a week, they are getting like the worst of their child for that last kind of hour or two of the day, because they've had such a great day, but they're exhausted.
Yeah.
And so by the time they're at home, they've only got like 1 or 2 hours like with them.
Yeah.
But they're not happy, as in the baby's not happy because it's overtired.
Yeah.
And then they're obviously looking forward to the weekend because they get to see the amazingness of it. But all the rest of the time is they're at work all the time. And then they get those 2 hours of just like an overtired baby.
Yeah.
Like, we've not yet ventured into nurseries. We're starting in September. But that's like a real thing of, actually, if they're having a great time at nursery, amazing. That's what we want. But they will be tired and exhausted when they do spend their time with us. And that is like a struggle which I've not given much thought to at the moment. But one of the things that I'm kind of really wary of going, I'm not sure if I'm not going to enjoy that phase if it's a thing. I don't know if anyone or even yourself has encountered anything like that.
So they call it the witching hour, don't they? Some people.
Do they?
Or like the crazy hour. Or
Okay.
So yeah, and it's a phase, obviously, that kids will go through.
Yeah.
But we so Luca only goes to nursery 1 day a week at the minute because Leanne's on maternity leave. So kind of save the money. She's here. But he used to go in 2 days a week while she was at work. And her thing was she would get home from work at about 6-ish because he's a teacher. You never finish on time when you're a teacher. And then she'd only see him for an hour. And it is that it's that
last sort of dregs of the day.
Yeah, bedtime hour. But also, you want to spend more than an hour with them.
Yeah.
They could be in the best of moods. So yeah, that's something that kind of Leanne experienced more so than me. But yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
And I think the phase thing has a massive part to play. Like, so obviously, as they get older, they learn to enjoy more of the day, don't they? Well, that's what our experience with Noah is. And like at the beginning, we got really worried at one point because like we thought we had a genuinely psychotic child, because she was just like, she couldn't sit still, like always on the go. Literally, like there was one moment where we went, this is not right, where we had family over. It was all nice, calm, peaceful evening. We tried so hard not to overstimulate her. And then it's like comes to bedtime and she just runs in and no kidding. She's like, just for like 20 minutes.
What'd she say?
Can't spell it. And we were like, what is going wrong? So we genuinely had a conversation with the doctors, and they were like, is she getting enough sleep? And like, we're reading all these books, she's getting enough sleep according to the books.
I've done a course.
Yeah. This was pre-sleep training course. But we just started changing the routine, letting her sleep more in the day, and she just started to calm down. And legitimately, it was like, we've just been depriving our child of sleep. So she's literally just like psychotic from sleep deprivation.
Wow. Well, we can...
but she completely changed.
We can testify to that.
But there was part of that thing of, yes, it was a phase as well, part of it, but then also needing more sleep. And it's like she became a completely different child. But also now, Noah's 2, when she comes home from wherever she's been and I come home from work, she's so much more happier because she's just able to stay awake longer.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
That's hard. The other thing is, and we're quite conscious not to give advice on this pod, right? Because
we don't know anything.
We don't know anything. We're just talking about our experiences. But what you could do is ask whoever's looking after them to do videos. So you've got the kind of calmer, more happy...
So that's one thing that he said, is that they see all the videos of it and it's great.
Okay.
And it's like, actually, they can see her in these states, which keeps them sane. Like,
right.
If you didn't have that, I imagine that would completely send you over the edge.
All you see is the bad stuff.
But it's just like you were saying with like Leanne, of you're only getting that 1 hour. That's like enough of like a downer. Whereas if they're always like overtired, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that can be really hard. But hopefully it's just a phase.
They're all phases, aren't they? And I've noticed when we said about doing the daddy issue section, my daddy issue changes every like 2 days. Like I would start to write down, this could be my daddy issue this week, and then it's like, actually he stopped doing that now. Mila's doing something else. Like she started to screech, like not just scream, I mean screech. Like it was harrowing. It was this soul-piercing screech. And I was just like, this is my daddy issue, isn't it? 2 days later, she stopped.
Wow.
So it's like, they're always something different.
Do you find as well, though, like, I always heard this growing up, and I always thought it was nonsense until now. I'm older, got kids, and I realise it's true. Like, time moves so quickly.
Yeah.
But also, when you've got kids, it moves so slowly. Like, it's been a week since we recorded this podcast. It feels like 3 months. Like, so much has happened.
That party took it out of you.
But that's the thing, like, not even the party, like, so many things, each day, like, so much happens with kids, that it's like, it feels like months ago, but also feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, so much has happened, I can't keep track of it. And because they're changing so quickly, it's like it goes so quickly, but it also takes forever. Especially when you're on, like, the 5th put down of trying to get them to sleep.
Yeah.
That feels like it's going forever.
100%. So I had a moment where I thought, this is why parenting's hard, a few years ago.
Okay, go on.
So Luca woke up and it was a Saturday. And so the way that we've agreed that we're going to kind of do the nights is Leanne will do them in the week when I'm working. I'll do them at the weekends so she can have some rest. So we'll get to Saturday. And this for me is the single worst thing about parenting is that I've lost my Friday feeling.
Ah, God.
It's gone. You get to the end of the week and you're not thinking, oh, do you know what, we're going out tonight or got the weekend. It's just like, well, it's my turn with the kids now. I'm not going to sleep or I'm up at whatever time in the morning. So the Friday feeling is gone. So I like a Thursday.
That's Thursday feeling.
Yeah, I got that
Thursday's the new
Thursday
Friday.
feeling. See,
Feeling.
Thursday feeling. Yeah, so I've got Friday feeling's gone. But there was one day, and this is where I figured it out. He woke up, heard him shouting, and this was before we had Mila, so it was just the one to like worry about. And I checked the time and it was 5 something. And I can't remember what it was, but I just saw the 5 and I just thought, oh gosh, like this is Saturday, man. Like, let me lie in. So already I wake up on a bit of a downer mood. Whereas when you're single or when you're just the two of you, generally speaking, your mood doesn't change that much. Yeah. Like things are good or things are bad for a period of time and you kind of figure it out either way. So I wake up, check the time, straight away the mood is down here. I'm like, oh gosh. I go into his room and he stood at the door and he looks up at me and he goes, Daddy. Oh. And I'm like, I don't care what time it is. I love you so much. Yeah. And like, I go from being down here to up there in seconds. Yeah. And then he goes, I done a poo-poo. And then I'm like, right, now I've got this to deal with. And it's all exaggerated by the lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Right? If you were sleeping 9 hours a day, you'd be like, come on then, let's go change that poo and let's get you ready for the day. But it's like, gosh, like, so I've gone from 5 o'clock on my life. Yeah. Daddy, I'm up here. And then now I've got this to deal with. And my mood changed like 3 times in the space of 3 minutes after waking up.
Yeah, wow.
And I thought, no wonder people say it's like emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
Because stuff happens all the time that changes your mood. Yeah. Like how often do you make tea for someone and you put it down and they just throw it across the room? Like never. But when you've got kids and like even if it's an accident, like they're just playing with it or something, you just think, do you know what, I've put the effort in for that.
I've got to clean that up.
No, I've got to clean that up. And it's like things happen that don't normally happen when you've not got kids. Yeah. And we know that emotions will drain you physically, right? Yeah. Your emotional state will affect your physical state. So no wonder we're all flipping shattered. We're not sleeping and our mood changes every 5 minutes. And
the thing is, like, for me, like, I'm very introverted. So, like, my energy's taken up when I'm being with people. But I absolutely love being with people. But I'm just really tired after spending any significant time with people. Yeah. But then when you do that and you really need rest, you've still got all that responsibility of being a parent. So I don't mind changing the nappies in the middle of the night. That's like being tired for me really does affect my mood, but absolutely love like my daughter like makes it all better. Like she's always happy. And so it's like if she's so happy all the time, like, and she's been through some stuff. Yeah. Like I think I can't even count how many operations she's had now, but she's so happy all the time. Yeah. And so like I try not to take that for granted a lot. However, it's still that thing of like sleep deprivation is the worst.
It's the worst.
But like we have a system as well. We take it in turns each day to get Noah ready, and the other person takes her to her nannies. Yep. So that's our little plan. But those like that extra half an hour in bed is like glorious. It's like I'm willing to pay anything
Yeah.
for that extra half an
Please.
hour. But when it is my turn and I have to get up, as soon as I, like you said, open the door, it's like, Daddy, and it's like, those just, yeah, makes it all worth it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched SAS Who Dares Wins?
No, but that sounds cool.
It is cool. It's like military training, and they put you through a boot
Is
camp
there a
and all that
celebrity
kind of
one?
stuff. Yeah.
I think I have seen
Yeah,
that.
on Channel 4.
Yeah.
So they do a challenge at the end where basically they like hold them hostage, and they kind of mentally torture them almost.
Wow.
But one thing they do is they don't let them fall asleep, and they play crying noises.
Wow.
So it's like, and someone said this to me, like a friend of mine was like, it's literally like a form of torture is to take your sleep away. And then you throw in the crying noise as well.
Wow.
And it's like, no wonder it's hard.
No wonder it's hard.
Yeah. So it's one of those, but you've just got to find a way that works for you.
Yeah.
And make do with what you've got. And I think for like going back to Matt, just make the most of the weekends as best as you can. And that's what we try to do. And that's one of the better things about having kids for me is it gets you out. You don't just sit and watch all the Harry Potters back to back on a Saturday.
Yeah. You have to get out. And
You have to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get out.
And like for me, the highlight is like Noah will do this thing where she will recount the day's activities for like weeks. It's like we took her to the farm a few weeks ago, and she'll still go. Like she'll tell us about the farm. She'll tell us that she had to feed the animals with her hand flat. That she liked seeing the goats and the horses and the name that she gave the horse like weeks ago, and she just loves it. And it's like that for me is like that's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Because it's like those little things which actually sometimes it's quite a pain just to get out to go to the farm. It's like, why we got to go to the farm? But actually, like, it makes a whole world, and it's so incredible.
Yeah, and you feel like you're getting some value for money, don't you?
Yeah, paid £6 per parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Matt. And if you've got any questions, any topics, any comments that you want to send in to us, please do at parentingtoolspod on Instagram and TikTok, or parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
Next week, we'll be introducing our first guest on the pod, because some of these issues that we just can't speak about.
No.
And actually just having someone else to share and air their grievances against their children. And we can laugh about. But literally just getting other people's opinions in. It's going to be a great time. We've got a great lineup of guests. And so watch out for that next week. Friday, as usual. Be amazing.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 already.
Bring it on.
Wow.
Freedom.